Mr. Stevenson is coming up in a moment. So thank you all once again.
So I'm Ryan's father, and I wrote a poem for Paintbox. But instead of me reading it, I figured I would have Ryan read it. So Ryan, come on up.
Learning and playing and having lots of fun. Teaching and creating with our daughters and our sons. Spanish with Senora and music with Miss Jean. Sign language with Miss Judy to complete the total scene. Mrs. Donna, Mrs. Kim, Mrs. Angie, and Mrs. Karen. All show the kids how to have fun with Mrs. Jeannie and Mrs. Sharon. Inside, outside, and all around the school. Doing the best you can is the most important rule. Field trips, free play, science, reading, and math. These things and much more put our kids on the right path. Another year has ended. Amazing how time flies by. So let's give the teachers a hand and make sure they don't cry.
Certainly. So that was the poem. But so my speech now. I don't know which way. I'll stand over here. Since most of you are over there. So for 2 years, you've all been a major part of our children's lives. You've taught them reading, writing, Spanish, sign language, science, math, art, and more, all in a fun-filled, spirited environment. You have inspired, comforted, loved, and entertained them as if they were your own children. And in a way, they are your own children. The lessons you have imparted on our kids will stick with them for the rest of their lives. They may not remember when they first learned something that you taught them, such as learning fractions with leftover donuts. But just the fact that you did will impact their lives in a positive way. While many of us parents have our bad days with our kids, when they seem to be determined to figure out every conceivable way to get on our last nerve, the teachers at Paintbox always seem to have a smile on their face and are ready to handle anything our kids throw their way. From Chepachet Farms to the Thanksgiving feast to the beach barbecue and everything in between, all of the teachers have put the most into the activities for our children. Mrs. Sharon, besides being a great neighbor, according to Aiden, you are a great teacher because you paint jungles and let the kids copy them and make us good artists. Oh, I'm sorry, very good artists, he said. Mrs. Angie, your art lessons are always fun, which is what almost every kid that I asked said about you. And as Ryan says, you're a great teacher because she laughs a lot. Mrs. Donna, dancing and keeping the kids in motion with gross motor are just some of the things that Olivia said make you a great teacher. Mrs. Karen, Kale said he loves singing songs with you because you are a great singer. I don't know if that's true, but that's what he told me. And Mrs. Kim, Kiara said you are a great teacher because you play a lot of fun games with the kids. And Mrs. Jeannie, since taking Paintbox over from Mrs. Began, you have made it your own while still maintaining the level of dedication to education that many of us multiple sibling parents have come to expect from Paintbox. However, Sophia said it best when she said, and this is a quote, "She is very nice because she let me in this school." That was her direct quote. So, thank you for all that you've done for our kids. And as a token of our gratitude for what you've done for all of them, we've got you a few little gifts for yourselves in the yellow bag. There's one for each of the teachers. For the school, since we were getting a little tired of watching your DVDs on the circa 1980-ish type TV.
I was born in the 90s.
All right, 90s. We got you a flat screen with a DVD player, a wall mount. I know you guys don't like television, but at least you can watch something good. And we're also going to wrangle some of the parents and refinish the pirate ship outside and the swing. So hopefully that will last a few more years for everybody. So once again, thank you all, and let's give them a big round of applause.